Alright guys, BLM here, back with more Assassin's Creed Odyssey. We're continuing on from where we left off. Oh fuck, that's why I was in the menu, I forgot. So we were gonna look at what quests we had to do. Kings of Sparta. Let's just do it. Screw this. I know we're supposed to do this, but fuck it. Who cares? Alright, let's go. Why are we near the viewpoint? We're 200 away, It's kind of out of the way. We'll do the viewpoint at some point, just I don't know if we need to right now. Okay, cool. Let's go. So yeah, I have decided with the Survivor thing, or with my other channel, that I will be doing a Survivor, who would I vote for, at each final tribal council video, which I think will be fun to do. And the reason I was a bit hesitant on is because I think it would take I thought it would take a lot of time, and now I think about it, it will actually be pretty easy to edit together. It's more so just if I'm able to think it through, which I'm doing while talking about these videos, it should be easy to write a script, and then really most of the editing is just editing the audio. The other stuff should be really easy, I think.
I'm tired of doing people favors. Let's get this over with.
Come on then. Your mother's waiting inside.
Yeah, there's the dickhead. I keep on forgetting how you're supposed to pronounce his name. But obviously, it was obvious he was the cultist king the entire time, the younger one. Pausanias? Whatever his name is.
There. What do you say now?
You've made your point, Archidamos. I yield.
Another 2 squadrons to Viatir then, as I said.
And again, edit-wise, canon-wise, Cassandra guesses wrong, right? She thinks Akadam, whatever his name is, she thinks that he's the cultist, but then obviously it turns out to be the other one.
May I present Marini, descendant of Leonidas, and her daughter Cassandra. I heard you'd come back. How dare you step foot on Spartan soil? I should cut it off for what you did. They helped us secure Corinthia, my king. I beg you to listen.
They are descendants of Leonidas. For that reason alone, they should be allowed to speak. And if we don't like what they have to say, you can chop off.
Yeah, it's so obvious he's the cultist.
Speak, Mary.
Because obviously they're not gonna, like, obviously just trying to trick you into thinking, oh yeah, the guy that's more of a dick, he's the bad guy.
You exiled yourself. Your daughter killed an elder and ran.
Not to mention the crooked nose she gave you.
My family was betrayed, my king. Sparta was betrayed. We've come to expose these traitors.
You haven't cared for Sparta for many years.
Ah, sorry, goddamn.
Your elders had both her children thrown off a cliff.
So, yeah, I'm going to continue to talk about my rationale for who I would vote for. Just so have it all in my head so I can write this down later. Just so like I know what stance I'm taking on these. So it gets a bit quicker. I'm hoping to write the script today, record the audio tomorrow morning, and then I don't know when I'll have the time to edit together, but find time eventually.
My intentions are to hunt down those who betrayed my family and
also probably tonight I'll also do a lot of the gathering of the I'll probably just do images for this one again, because again, don't want to get copyright from Survivor or anything. And also again, it's another one that, like, if I can get an image of the people at Final Tribal, I feel like it's good enough anyway for this sort of thing.
Tell me what I must do, and it will be done.
The Spartan army fights the Athenians in Viatir. Join the commanders there. Come back victorious, or do not return.
Sure.
You expect me to win a war when your own troops can't?
My troops will crush any army under Helios. And if you want your home back, you'll go to Viatir and mind your tongue. Good. You're learning. You will find my commander out of Mount Helicon. Give him this and tell him I sent you.
Not so fast. 2 kings, 2 tasks.
It's so dumb.
And what would you have me do? Conquer the rest of the world?
No, I want to win the
I'd leave the
Olympics.
conquering to Archidamos. The Olympics will be starting soon in Elise, and our fighting champion requires an escort.
You want me to be an escort?
I want you to make sure the Spartans return with a wreath.
That's how she'll bring glory to Sparta? By winning an event in the Olympics?
Not an event, my king. By making sure Sparta wins the entire Olympics.
Perfect.
Interesting. Canonically, she spends like 10 months, I believe, training Testicles, just for him to die, and then she takes over his spot anyway. I believe that's what happens canonically.
People say it's King Lycaon himself, cursed by Zeus to live out his days as a wolf.
I will kill this animal and bring you its head.
You have your orders. We'll see you when your tasks are completed.
If they're completed.
I'll get them done. And you'll
I don't
give us
believe you
back
even
our
have
home.
to do the wolf
There's
thing,
some
by the
Spartan
way.
left in you after all.
And that's one of the legendary beasts, the ones that you kill for the Daughters of Artemis.
Next.
But I don't believe you actually have to kill them. Like kill the wolf here. I think it still allows you to continue on without it. So yeah, I think I talked up to JT and Steven. Which again, I think Steven, I would vote for Steven, I think. Just because, again, JT need to win the final 2 immunities. And with, like, I think JT and Steven's games are so close that I feel like that's really a determining factor there. Obviously, JT performed better at Final Tribal Council. But I do think Steven had at least some sort of relationship with Aaron, where they had an agreement to take each other to the final 2. He had a better relationship with Taj at the time.
And all I have
I had a
to do
better
is win
working
the
relationship with Taj for most of the game.
Is there anything you need to know before setting off?
No.
I think I'm ready. And you? What will you do while I'm gone?
I received a message just before we went in.
What kind of message?
A clue to the whereabouts of another cultist.
Which again, this canonically,
Alone?
The fates are smiling on us.
canonically, Marini
We can
kills
travel
Lagos
together.
on her
That
own.
would be helpful.
Like Cassandra has nothing to
I'll
do
meet
with
you
this
both
entire
in the
plot
Caribbean.
line. But
Safe
here in the
journeys.
game, obviously, we are the ones that do it. Why are they walking backwards? Alright, what should we do first then? I mean, I'm thinking what we should do is probably do that quest line first. Or we could do the delivering a champion. I don't know. Shit. Where is this again? It's in Acadia? Yeah. Okay, I think we'll do this viewpoint first. Shit. I think I marked the wrong one. Or did I mark the right one? Alright, we'll do this viewpoint. And then we'll go... I think we'll try doing canon order. So we'll do the Lagos one first, just because Cassandra had nothing to do with it. Then we'll go to Boeotia. And then we'll do Testicles last. Because, again, canon-wise, Testicles is last. Actually, I believe canon-wise, technically, I believe she meets up with Testicles first, but then goes off to, and like starts training, I think, but then goes off to do the Boeotia stuff, and then comes back to finish the training with Testicles, and then does that. Well, who cares? Whatever. Then we get Russell, Natalie, and Mick. Obviously, that's that's very easy. Russell is who I would have voted for there. Okay. Yeah, we get to Survivor 20, and I feel like that's a tough one. Heroes vs. Villains is a tough one, because we got... I don't think there's any way I would vote for Sandra. Again, Sandra, like, actively tried to do things and failed at it, but because she failed at what she was trying to do, she ends up winning the game. Which, I mean, same thing could be said for people like Aris and whatever, but I feel like they're, like, the problem with, like, which, again, like, Aris is against another person in Danielle who had a similar mindset as well, while Sandra doesn't. So it's like, I don't think I could vote for Sandra. Then between Parvati and Russell, it's tough because it's like I feel like Russell played the most dominant game that season, but obviously he was never winning that season, and he played pretty poorly socially. So yeah, again, I don't think if Russell had a chance at winning, I would vote for Russell. But again, the problem I have with Parvati is the fact that she was saved by an idol. At the same time, Russell played the idol on her when there wasn't a guarantee that he was going to be safe. So it's really a mixed bag all over the place. I do think in this situation where it was, I would vote for Parvati over Sandra. But I do think I would have given Russell a shot if he had a chance at winning, which he didn't. Okay. And then, alright, sorry, I'm responding to a text right now. So yeah, what is it? Nicaragua, I think it's very easy for me. I would vote for Sash. To be honest, for a while, I would have said I would vote for Sash. Would have voted for Sash. Actually, what did I just say? Fuck. Alright, let's start this over. Nicaragua, I think it's very easy that I would vote for Chase. I think I said Sash, right? I used to think I would vote for Sash. However, after rethinking about it, I think it's very clear I would vote for Chase. And obviously Fabio I would never vote for. Fabio had no clue what he was doing the entire game. Not really a gameplay style and again had to win out. Chase, I think Chase played a very strong game. Game's so close to winning. Again, I really would have loved it if Chase Rice won Survivor, but he didn't. So but either way, I would have voted for Chase again. Played a pretty dominant game. Again, it was a major swing vote. I mean, again, there are problems with this game. Obviously, he was a bit too. Obviously, he was like love struck with Brenda and like had this sort of. He got like personal feelings involved with things. But at the same time, I feel like he never acted out strategically with those feelings. Maybe at the first vote, but I think at the same time, I mean, Shannon is a big loose cannon. So it's like, I do think at the end of the day, like, I mean, Chase was in the majority the entire game. Yeah, I mean, I think Chase played a pretty dominant game that season. And, I think the fact that he wasn't rewarded for it was partially due to the perception of him being kind of a dumbass, which I don't even think is particularly true, and like him being love struck and that sort of thing. And I think also the perception that, not perception, also the fact that he was against Fabio, who was the guy that won out. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I would have easily voted for dickhead Chase. Redemption Island, I mean, again, obviously, Boston Rob, stop. South Pacific, I would have voted for Coach. Again, Coach played, was the most dominant person. Again, there are people that say Sophie was the strategic mastermind of the group. But again, I think when you have someone like Coach who's a figurehead for the Alliance and you allow him to get to the end, I think that's a fault of your game that you allowed this figurehead, who could take credit for
Of course.
all the strategic
Your
moves
story should be sung from the mountaintops.
together. Obviously,
In Arcadia, you are already a legend.
with Coach
Where
being
is
coach,
Brasidas?
I mean,
I need to speak
Coach
to him.
being coach is a lot of the reason why he didn't
And a
win.
woman. You'd like to speak
But
with
if it
her
had
too,
been
yes?
someone like
Wait.
Boston Rob
She
or like
looks
any
like you.
other
Tell me
strategic
what
player,
they
I
want.
mean, it would have been a clear
It's what
cut.
Brasidas paid me
That
for,
person
after
should have
all.
won. I
Then
feel
why
like so.
don't you?
He didn't pay enough.
Okay.
See if you can use your weapon.
Fuck, he has a lot. Takes a lot of hits, doesn't he? Oof. Okay. Look how many headshots he takes. That's ridiculous. There we go.
My story will outlive.
So yeah, 24, it's obviously Kim. 25, I think, is a tougher one. I think this is one where I think back in the day I would have said I would have voted for Skupin. I do think as time has gone on, I would have voted for Lisa. I don't think I would have voted for Denise. Again, my problem with Denise is the fact that
Tell me
one,
where my mother is, or I'll shove my spear so far down your throat, you'll be shitting iron at the gates of Hades.
is one I never felt like she was really in control of much. I mean, a lot of it was one, her relationship with Malcolm that allowed her to be in control, and two, it's like her banking on what other people, like banking on Skupin and Lisa, and hoping that they wouldn't betray her. Yeah, and also the fact that she actively wanted to go to the end with Malcolm, who was someone she would have lost against unanimously, or not unanimously, but I think she would have lost, how many people were on the jury? 8, so she would have lost 6-2, I think. Actually, no, she would have lost 6-1 to 1, I believe, is how it would have gone. Either way, who cares? She would have lost.
He who controls the grain controls the
Because Denise was getting Artis's vote.
Artist,
Artis's vote.
I don't.
And RC was never voting for Malcolm. So, like, the best she could do is 2 votes there. Everyone else is voting for Malcolm.
Somebody get water!
Okay. Okay. Again, when we get to Lisa, it's like Lisa. I mean, again, I think Lisa and Skupin. I think one of those 2 people should have won the game. In terms of social positioning, in terms of being the ones that made the decisions that ended up controlling the game. Mind you, I mean, obviously they were in that position because they were perceived as goats. But at the same time, I feel like I find what they were able to do more impressive than something like Denise, where again, I think Denise surviving every tribal council pre-merge is impressive. But again, like, I feel like once she gets to the post-merge, she doesn't really do much, especially after the final 9. Like, once Artist goes home, which, I mean, again, to give credit to her, that is her plan, is to vote for Artist. It's like she doesn't really do much. She's just there. Like, it's mostly Malcolm that does stuff from that point on. And there's never a point until the final 4 where Denise plans on getting rid of Malcolm, which, again, is to her detriment. Obviously, she ends up winning because Lisa and Skupin were already ahead of her and wanting to get rid of Malcolm. Which, again, is why I think I would have voted for Lisa. But, yeah.
Thank the gods you found us.
I got your message. I killed the messenger. He betrayed you, Brasidas.
These cultists Marini told me about. They knew you were coming and must have forced La Roche to place the bounty on your heads. Trusting anyone in Arcadia will be difficult now.
Which is why I say we put that Archon's head on a pike. Our message to the Puppet King in Sparta will be clear.
Let's find out more about what's going on in Arcadia. We should be able to solve this Lagos problem without too many beheadings.
After what happened to the monger in Corinthia,
That crowd wanted blood.
violence doesn't always solve problems. Whatever happens, we need Lagos alive. Arcadia is Sparta's breadbasket, and Lagos keeps it full.
That man is
And
working
then,
for
I'm
other
trying to think of what
bosses.
else was there.
Then we need to free him from their grasp.
What was the next
What
season?
makes you think
26.
he wants
Caramoan. Dawn and Cochrane are tough. Again, I think they're pretty close. I think the difference there
Looks like I came just in time.
is that Cochrane. I think it's really, really close.
Your strategy makes sense, Brasidas.
Thank you. I'm glad you agree.
You're letting sentimentality cloud your judgment.
Thousands of Spartans depend on Lagos for food and protection.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that Cochrane was able to make Dawn get rid of people like Brenda.
There's a farmhouse northeast of the
Like earlier than what Brenda, earlier than Dawn should have.
Anything you'll regret.
So that's kind of where I give the point to Cochrane. Is that Cochrane was able to get Dawn to do something not in her best interest.
The Archon hides like a coward in Fort
But I do think they're really
You
close.
can't miss that monstrosity. You could go after him now, but be careful. He's well defended.
Then we must weaken his defenses.
He's got barracks full of guards and silos full of grain. It would be a shame if any came to harm.
Okay.
I'll go see what Lagos is up to.
Good luck, my lamb.
You don't understand. This isn't just about fire and weed.
Okay, whatever. I don't care. But again, like unlike JT and Steven, where I talked about this with JT and Steven, where I would vote for Steven because I felt like Steven had more working relationships within the game. Like while JT was more well liked generally. Oh, do we just go? Oh, cool. Okay, let's just go straight for him. Fuck, we're already 22 minutes in. Today's going super quick. It's already 10 o'clock. Yeah, while JT had more, like was well liked, I feel like Steven had more connections in the game. Kind of similar here with Cochrane and Dawn. However, I think the difference is that Steven never did something out of his best interest. Because of what JT wanted. If not, it was the opposite. Because it's like every move that Steven made was to better his position to get to the end. Again, like, I mean, obviously, oh fuck.
I should try to stay out of sight.
So I think that's my biggest difference. Because it's like, again, with Steven and JT, it's like Steven 100% should have voted out Debbie. 100% should have voted out Coach when he did. 100% should have voted out, like Taj in that situation. And again, I mean, the thing is, if Steven wins final immunity, I mean, he wins the game. And same thing if Aaron wins final immunity, he wins the game. It's like, it just so happens that JT won out. Unlike here of Cochrane, where it's like, even if Cochrane had not won that final four immunity, he still probably doesn't go home. And Don was pretty dedicated to taking him to the end. So it's like, I think that's the difference there, is that I feel like Cochrane is so much, like, so well insulated within the game that, unlike JT, to where I feel like I would have the vote for Cochrane over Don. And I feel like Cochrane is an underrated winner in the grand scheme of Survivor. Again, people discredit Cochrane, a lot of it having to do with, oh, he had so many friends in the game to begin with. But again, he was able to manage his relationships super well in that season, was able to position himself super well. Like, I just think Cochrane played one of the most dominant games in Survivor history, but whatever, that's just me. Okay, 27, Easy Tyson. Even though I think Tyson made some major mistakes, I think Tyson made one massive mistake at the final 6, where he doesn't play his idol. But I think at the end of the day, I think still Tyson played easily the most dominant game that season. Not even close. I mean, like, far and away, so. Shit, sorry, Okay. Alright, wait, sorry. Trying to get everything arranged here. Okay, we're good. So, yeah. Easy Tyson. Tony versus Wu. Again, easy Tony. Tony dominated the entire game. Wu was kind of his sidekick, so that's easy. Natalie, easy, 29. Again, that's pretty easy. Again, pretty much dominated the end game. Again, while Missy was technically in control I was not in control. I was technically in the majority the entire game. Unlike Natalie, who was on the outs during the Jeremy vote. I do feel like Natalie had more control over those endgame votes than Missy did, or Missy kind of just tagged along. So yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, in retrospect, I obviously wouldn't have climbed that, so that turned out to be a waste of time. Whatever. 30 is a tough one. I've talked about this before, how I feel like Survivor 30 is one of the toughest ones, because it's like, we got Mike Holloway, who had the win out, and he's an idol. I think, again, that's not really a win I really respect too much, or a way of playing the game I really respect too much. Then you got Carolyn, who I think played an okay game. I think she played a solid game. Again, I think the problem with Carolyn is that she was always at the bottom of whatever alliance she was in. And that's even more evident by the fact that she needed an idol, which again, that's something I don't like, is that when, obviously, you need an idol to save yourself. And then, also, she got lucky that Mike wanted to take her in the fire making challenge. Then you got Will, who didn't really do much post, like what, Final 11? Again, people that, like, I think a lot of people discredit Will from a social standpoint. I mean, like, from a likability standpoint. Again, he's not the most likable guy in the world, obviously. But it's like, the thing is that Will, it's like, despite obviously not playing a great game and being pretty terrible to Shirin and that sort of stuff, it's like, I mean, if you actually look at the game, I mean, he was never in the minority. I mean, he was in the majority the entire post-merge. Wait, why is he here? Wait, this is different. What the fuck? Yeah, he's just in the open world? Okay. Yeah, so if you don't do it if you don't do Brasidas' thing, he just isn't, and he's just like here, like randomly here. Damn it. Okay, we did it. Yeah, we did that super quickly. Yeah, because I don't think I've ever done this mission without doing the Brasidas stuff. Okay. So let's go. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I do think I would have voted for Carolyn over Will. Though, I think it's closer than a lot of people think. Because, yeah, I think Carolyn thought about the game more strategically.
He's dead.
And again, she was really. I mean, but then again, I mean, it's tough. It's really tough because again,
One less cultist.
Will was technically in the majority of the entire game. It's
Lavos
like,
was a dear friend once.
I mean, the only time he wasn't was at the final four, right?
I'm
And
sorry,
also when I
Odyssey.
guess the idol play at
When
12, but that
Lagos
shouldn't
joined the
count.
cult, he sealed his fate.
So you execute the manga in public against my advice, and now you kill Lagos? If you were under my command, you wouldn't be anymore.
I don't follow orders. I do what I have to.
So it's done. I suppose you'll be wanting to report the news to Sparta soon.
Yeah, I love how
No,
the tone just
things
completely
were clear
changes.
in their requests. Viotia must be brought under control, and Sparta must win a wreath at the Olympic Games.
There is much left to do, Lamb.
Marini, you are as determined as ever. I'm sure you will regain your house soon. With Lagos
Yeah, I
dead,
love how he was like so
arrangements
upset a
must be
second
made
ago.
to
Now he's like,
ensure
oh yeah,
Sparta
whatever.
doesn't starve.
Arcadia is safe once more.
And the bounty is lifted. We are free to travel without fear.
Then let's continue our journey.
Sure. Okay. So, I will probably end here, but let's go and, look on the map and see if there's anywhere we can fast travel. I don't think there is, though. Because what we're trying to go, it's somewhere around here. Isn't it? Botia, there. Yeah, there's like nowhere we can fast travel. Because we didn't select the fast travel point when we were there. I think the closest one is Corinthia. Or is it Attica? Looks like it might be Attica by a little bit. So I mean, I guess we'll go to Athens. Let's go. So yeah, we'll continue on next episode. I mean, again, like I think Carolyn versus Will is tough, just because again, like obviously Carolyn's a better player. Carolyn will do better in more often, but it's like, and wow, I don't think the thing is I don't think any of the three played a good game, and I think that's the thing. Yeah, if Rodney was there, I think Rodney gets my vote easily, but it's tough with those three. I think I would go for Carolyn. That's tough. Can we like get there already? Yeah, I think I would go for Carolyn over Will, but to be honest, it's hard to explain the rationale because it's like, you know, Will was in the majority for most of the game. He a major factor in those first 2 episodes on the No Caller tribe. But either way, all right, let's go ahead and do a save while I continue talking about this for a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, it's tough. I mean, again, like I just feel like Carolyn played the game more strategically, but it's like technically Will had a better, like it was better positioned. Again, Carolyn needed an idol. Also at the final 5, she was almost in the minority. The only reason she switched to Sierra is because she realized that Mike was probably going that way, so she knew she was going to be in the minority. Again, she almost got voted out final 4 if it wasn't for Mike deciding that he wanted to pretty much embarrass Rodney. I mean, that would have been the thing. So, I mean, I don't know. So, we're 9 hours into this, by the way. God damn, it still takes forever. Yeah, we're done. Next episode, we'll continue on. For now, thank you for watching.